this morning, coffee in hand, flipped on the screen, my favorite man. Crafty's on the TV, chipping that stone with obsidian and flint, he's in the zone. He's shaping the future with a hit and a crack, building the legends, ain't no turning back. With every sharp edge, he's teaching the way of the ancients who thrive back in the day. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chisel in the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. Underneath those layers of dust and grit, finds a magic every little bit. A sculptor of stories, buried in the ground, each piece he uncovers wisdom abound. With every collision, the sparks start to fly as the old world awakens. We question why. He's digging deeper where the shadows play, reviving old crafts that could fade away. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chisel in the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. And in this life, we're all just searching for our place in the world, a way to keep working. With the flick of his wrist, he brings forth the light. In every gray morning, he makes it feel right. So gather around, let the stories unfold. Crafty's our guide through the young and the old. With the sun rising high and the day moving on, Crafty carves dreams till the light is all gone. Shaping the future one chip at a time. With every creation, he's keeping the rhyme. From the heartland of Texas to the mountains of green, the legacy lives on through the stonework unseen. With every perspective, he's showing the way. Crafty keeps going, come whatever may. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chisel in the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. So here's to the mornings with coffee in hand and Crafty on the screen, the true heart of the land. With a hit and a crack, he's paving the way through stone and through story. He inspires the day.
Hello, hello. Let's see who we have. Let's see. I'll find myself on the YouTubes. Okay. Where am I on the YouTubes? Yes, I can see myself live. Who's first?
I can see myself live.
Who's first? Zapador? Good evening from Spain. Awesome. Jim is here. Sal is here. Mike's here. Charles is here. Jared. Gary. Ooh, someone else is on the live stream? Uh-oh, Gulf Coast is live? Where is it? Why is it spinning? Anyways. Who else we got? We have Ross. Michael. Hop along. We got bunches of people. And Gulf Coast Knapping is live too. Maybe I should chat with Gulf Coast Knapping. Yeah. No, not going to. I got my own live stream. Yes, yes. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to be seeing what I can get out of this piece here. Okay? Little 8-ounce bopper, right? That's what that is. Yeah, 8-ounce. 8-ounce bopper. Yeah. That's my favorite. Okay. So what is this? This is a piece of Texas road rock. Yeah, I just showed Jake's live stream. What else we got? Ed is here. Ed is here. Okay. It looks like this might be some sweet material. Maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yes, yes. Am I going to nap one of those? No, that's just for the background people. The people who know how to read the background. Oh, yeah. I got some other background stuff. Let me do that. Let me put that in the background. Yeah. Like that. Maybe they can read it. Maybe they can't. So, some of this might be nasty, crunchy material. Some of it might be sweet. And I keep dropping it because I have to look in the viewfinder of the camera phone to see if I'm within the frame. And whenever I do that, I tend to drop whatever I'm trying to look at. Almost defeats the purpose. All right, so this piece is 6 1/4 inches long, but it's probably going to end up being about 5 inches because I already see some issues on the ends. We shall see. Can I make arrowheads out of this stuff? Yeah, maybe. Can I make arrowheads out of this stuff? No, that's too thin. Yep, too thin. Yeah, this might be sweet. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. We've got some natural cracks and stuff. So I have an auction going on right now. Just bid in the comment section, and I announced the winners at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is in about, I don't know, 3 hours. A little under 3 hours. I'll check the chat from time to time, and I'll check the auction from time to time. Last week I forgot to check the auction at all during the live stream. Daly says he's just here to watch and learn. Cool. We have another person from Spain. Feliz Navidad. Or from Mexico. Let's see. Bienvenidos Gonzalez. Yeah, and then who else we got? Jesse's here. Harris Brooks. Police nabbed me dad. Are you in the UK? Otro español por aquí. Yes, there is someone else who's speaking Spanish. Yes, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. I might be able to get an arrowhead out of that piece. Anthony says police shot my dad. You guys, this is a flintnapping live stream. It's not for weird comments, although it is the weird side of YouTube. Are you guys like 12 years old or something? Let's see. DM McPherson, I have some, let's see, I can't read. These chats are going by too fast. Hold on, guys. Let's see. What do we got? Keith Ricketts is here. Let's see. I napped Keel Cook for the first time today, says Daily. Awesome. Shorty says, did you finish the one from the other night? It was black with white lines through it. It would be, I would love to see it. Yeah, it's in the auction. Look at my auction video. It's item number 8V02. Refreshing, wholesome content. Thank you, Harris. Let's see. Tiffany, there's a thing in my room. You guys, what are you up to tonight? Hello from Oklahoma, says Brandon. Who else we got? Hey, Marbles. Somebody. Oh, yeah, Keith is Marbles. Let's see. I will check the chat from time to time, even though I lose viewers that way. I found out that they only stay for 46 seconds anyway. On my live streams, what's the average view duration on my live streams? I gave it away already. 46 seconds. Yeah, that's it. On my live streams, the average view duration. Can you imagine? 46 seconds. That's the attention span of today's youth. So I'm assuming most of them are young. 46-second attention span. That sounds about right. Yeah. So now it's down to, it started out 6 inches or something. Or what was it? I don't even remember. It's now 5 3/4. But I'm trying to peel off this turtleback. I'm going to have to start hitting this side now. I can get some arrowhead flakes if I'm careful. I got some down there. Let's see. Oh, that's not going to do it. How about that? How about that? That's good. Yeah, I think it's going to be sweet for some smaller arrow points. I'm going to make a lot of small arrow points going forward. And if I make some large points, it'll be mostly modern knife blades. Daly says he tries to watch the whole live stream. Good, you're one of the rare ones. Maybe you'll become a loyal subscriber and contributor to the channel. And yeah, don't join the 46-second crowd. Is that good? Yeah, it's good. Well, kind of good. It's kind of curved, so it's not going to be very long if I make an arrowhead from it. Yeah, these are okay. I like this type of shirt. I just wish it wasn't so blocky. It's very hard to get nice pieces off a blocky chunk like this. Yeah. So, what do we talk about tonight besides exactly everything what I'm doing perfectly explained? I don't know. Daly says he subscribed. There you go. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Jesse. J Money gave me $5. The comment is, last point in the foreshaft, world class, 100%. Awesome. I don't know what that means, but last point in the foreshaft, world class. I'm not sure what that means, Jesse, but thank you. Trying to get some arrowhead spalls. See if I can do it. Yes. Ah. And did it. Now, let's see if I can finish it out without breaking it. So, it's like a 5 1/4 inches or less. Come on. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to preserve that much. DeVos Tube, welcome, membership. Welcome to membership. Yes, yes. A new member, Dr. Voss Tube. You've been around for a while, though. He's been around for a while. He just now became a member. However, so good. I'm glad. Thank you. What do members get? Pretty much what everybody else gets. Except bragging rights that they are now a member and contribute to the channel. Yeah. I like my members. Oh, yes. It's going to be a nice Christmas this year because of my members. Oh, yeah. What did I buy for myself? I actually bought a nice... I bought a nice tool. I just haven't used it yet. I bought a cordless skill saw. Yeah, cordless. So now I can take it anywhere. And I'm going to be using that skill saw to cut bow staves. I'm going to cheat. Yeah, instead of splitting. I'm going to be harvesting a lot of elm. Oh, yeah. Frodo Joe, is he in the house? I'm going to go visit him again. Get some more elm. Weather permitting. We'll see. We're supposed to get a storm soon, so might not go to his house for a while. But yeah, when I buy stuff for myself, it's usually tools. Yeah. Extra chance at the door prize? Yes. Craig is here, or says hi. Do your hands not get bruised? Says, or asks Harris. No, my hands no longer get bruised. I used to get bruised right here. I'll show you. That's a good question. Right here, my hand used to get bruised right there. There's like a bone. But now I have a bone spur, so it's like a lump right here that prevents any further bruising. Inside my hand, there's a little lump, and it feels like a bone spur. That's where I used to get sore, but now I don't anymore. Amazing how that works. But most of these hits don't jar the piece very much because I hit very fast. So it takes off the flake before it knows what's happening. And I don't feel it in my hand. I used to feel it a lot before I did not, when I was not doing it right. Let's see. Patrick, it was your rock to point part 4 when you put the lattice point on the foreshaft museum grade. Oh, I see. Well, thank you. Rock to point part 4. Okay. So, cool. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. So this is yielding some good little arrowhead flakes. Yeah. So I've got some arrowhead flakes coming up. I set these aside earlier. Some amoeba cherts and other high-grade cherts for arrowheads, smaller ones. I'm going to add this in with this. Yes, yes. These are great pieces. I like the color on this chert. It's kind of a brownish, root beerish, almost like Knife River Flint. Yeah, the color is almost like Knife River Flint. It can get confusing if it's reddish. This is more yellowish or amberish than Knife River Flint, but it's very similar, which is nice. Anyway, let's see what we got. Do we switch over to indirect percussion now? I don't know. Everyone's over on Jake's live stream. We're hanging around 70 people for the last few minutes. Yes, yes. It's okay. It is all right, because you guys, you 70 guys are probably not the 49-second attention span crowd. Yeah, Frodo Joe is here. Bushy. Yeah, Gary Reed's here. How is the snow doing, Bushy? Yeah, is the snow still deep where you are? Because it melted over here last few days. We're going to get some more tonight and tomorrow. But it's mostly melted right now. I'm in Vermont. In case you don't know. Well, 99% of you don't know, because 99% usually are brand new to the live stream. I've gotten comments on my shorts videos, more than I thought I'd get. Some interesting comments, some kind of what I expected, that were kind of drinking the Kool-Aid kind of comments. You know, they talking about the existing consensus around why some of these arrowheads were well made. Anyways, I could talk about that a little bit. But, you know, yeah, I've come to the conclusion that the well-made ones, the well-made arrowheads, were made by the guys that lived the longest, for the most part. Some of them have freakish talents, and they don't have to live very long to make nice arrowheads. But those are the exception. I think most guys take several years to develop their talents in flint knapping. Several is like 4 or more years. Let's see. Henry says hello from Alaska. Harris Brooks, 1 degree north of England. Awesome. We got internationals in the house. Good evening, fellers, says Rasha. Aliens made good points, says DR Voss. Oh, yeah. Aliens make the best points. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They can do it blindfolded. Yep, it's easy peasy stuff for them. All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'm already messing it up. Right here in this area. You can't see because, I bet you some of you can't see because of the chat. Right, let me move up a little further so that the rock is in the middle of the picture. Oh, I don't have my gaiters on. So I'm going to get flakes down in my boots. That's all right. That's never happened before. Harris says, aliens? Yeah, we have a running joke on this channel about aliens. I remember when YouTube was young enough that some people would say, there's no way you could make arrowheads with rocks chipping on other rocks. You know, people were still so much in the dark about flint knapping that they would say stuff like, there is no possible way to chip a rock with another rock and obtain these kind of artifacts. No way. They had to have some other mechanism, or they're not that old. They're not really that old. They're the fake dates on these. Carbon-14 was, they used to think that carbon-14 dating was like a hoax back in the early days of YouTube. So, what's the other explanation? They were either modern made or aliens made them. Yeah. But we found out the hard way, or they found out the hard way, that we started posting videos of how to make arrowheads using antlers and stones. That's what I started doing. I mean, that's how I started out. And I switched to copper when I decided that I wanted to enjoy the process instead of enduring copious amounts of pain and suffering. And oh yes, I had pain and suffering in the beginning. Lots of it. And then I learned to heat treat. Oh man. That doubled my supply of stones once I learned to heat treat. Because half of my stones, they weren't nappable. Or not easily nappable, especially with natural tools. And then I started heat treating. Changed the whole ball game, and then switched over to copper and other metals. And it was smooth sailing, relatively speaking, from there. I still occasionally use natural materials for tools to knap rocks. I got a bunch of stuff, and I'll be making videos like that eventually. Again. Hey, let's see. Your name is Easy. Send me $4.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you. The comment is, I want to set up a little nap area in my backyard, but I know that they're gonna end up in my foot. What do I do? Where to nap? Well, as long as you have a big enough tarp or drop cloth to catch all the flakes, you just, gather up the drop cloth or whatever, and then dump all the flakes in a bucket. Keep your area clean. And always wear footwear, unless you're a crazy caveman type that doesn't like to wear footwear. You don't mind getting cuts. But yeah, drop cloth. Go to a nap-in and see how they do it, and then set up your area like they do at the nap-ins. What's a nap-in? It's a place where flint nappers get together to just sit around and flint nap. Yeah. Talk some smack. Yeah. Share techniques, ideas, and stones. Sometimes gossip. Oh yeah, there's plenty of gossip at nap-ins. Sometimes, I don't know, some crazy guys did a live stream from a nap-in the other day. I don't know who it was, but they were nuts. So this is getting thinner. Let's put a like on the super chat. Thank you, thank you. Jared says he still has not figured out the 67 thing. Well, supposedly you're not supposed to be able to figure it out. It's supposed to be nonsense. Yeah. It's not supposed to mean anything. It's just supposed to be it's supposed to be like a giggle thing for these chuckleheads. It's a giggle number for the chuckleheads. Yeah. So anyone that posts 6'7" is a chucklehead. What's a chucklehead? Basically somebody that giggles for no reason. I know there's probably a different definition for that, but that's all you need to know. Yep. Just a bunch of goober heads. Yeah, they laugh at people that can't figure it out because it's not supposed to be figured out. It doesn't mean anything. I thought there was a bunch of 67-year-olds in the chat. Well, there is a bunch of 67-year-olds, but that's not what they were meaning. Let's see. Sal says it's just made up deal. Yep, it is. Let's see. I got a lot of new people. Yep. Lots of new. I'm just looking at the chat. We got a bunch of new people. What kind of glove do you use and why do you like it? I use the kind of gloves that they sell now that have rubberized palms, right? Just like 5 years ago, they didn't have these really cool gloves. I like them because I don't get cut. What can I say? I used to wear the old-fashioned gardening gloves made of leather, and they would wear out really fast. But these don't wear out that fast. And they used to be hard to get, 5 years back or whatever it was when they started first introducing these. But now you can get them anywhere. Yeah. Any hardware store now has these, where they used to be rare. So I like them because I don't get cut. I don't like getting cuts while I'm working because it interrupts the flow. And it makes a mess. All that blood makes a mess on your points. And then when I'm working obsidian, especially pressure flaking obsidian, I wear 2 gloves. Because all those little flakes get everywhere and they get in between where the tools are touching my skin. And that's where the flakes like to get in there and get me. Yeah. Good question, by the way. Let's see. Ed says, man, that song Danny wrote about Mr. Crafty was really special. Hit me hard. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, I like it too. Yes. Music provided by Danny Collins. Authentic Outdoors evening, Jack. I'm working on some fire opal points right now, watching you. Is that Edward's chert or Polish flint? This is Edward's chert. Yeah, Edward's Plateau chert. It's not Polish flint, although it's similar, I suppose. It's more like Danish flint. It's actually pretty high grade. Yeah, it's turning out to be a high grade chert. All this road rock on this batch. They come in different shades, different colors, but they're all seeming to be nice and nappable. I'm going to nap this piece next. I'm working on this one right now. Obviously. What else did I miss? I'm going to check the chat to see if I missed questions. I saw your stuff today, Sal. I just didn't comment. And yesterday too. I see you said you had to break out the tissues because you had some issues? What do we got? What else? If I missed your super chat, I apologize. Let me see if I missed somebody's super chat. Okay, easy. I got yours. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I haven't heard of Chucklehead in forever. Oh, I haven't heard Chucklehead, the expression, yeah. Let me see. Do you ever use Abo gear, says Sir Jack? Yes, I use it. I have some. Where is it? If you look at my other live streams, sometimes I bring it out. So just to answer that question, I just processed a bunch of backstrap sinew that I'll be using coming up. It's mainly for bowstrings. But yeah, I've got a bunch of... I have my own proprietary way of using these antlers and stuff. This is like a little hammer. This is used to be an indirect percussion stick. I put another extension into the back so I can still use it as an indirect stick. I got bunches of antlers that I have not processed down to billets yet. This is just I have 4 of these boxes of antler tools and stuff I've used over the years. Okay, just to answer that question. What else we got? Yeah, I started in 2007 with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver knapping, and then I did some more research on YouTube and saw guys using antlers and hammerstones, so I switched over to that and did that for a couple of years, very torturously. And then I started to knap with copper because knapping with natural tools is a pain. Although I still do it. I don't know why. Let's see. Daily says, I'm 16. I have been doing this since I was 15. I love these videos. Awesome. Why are you not wearing gloves on your right hand? Because I don't have to. Do you see any cuts? No. That's why I'm not wearing gloves. Now, if I was not wearing a glove on this hand, I'd probably have a cut already. Flakes guard. My grandma got trampled by a mule deer. Okay, this is a Christmas thing. I'm going to skip that one. Authentic outdoors. I was going to say most of my Edwards has been brown. I see. Most of mine is gray and tan. What kind of bopper is this? This is a solid copper head bopper that I bought from flintnapping Solid copper head with a plastic handle. flintnapping Do I work for them or do they sponsor the channel? No. People that sponsor the channel are like Mike Tufts, Danny Collins, and various others. Those are the 2 that have boppers on their site, I believe. Other than, there's flintnappingtraditions.com from Danny Collins. He has boppers on his channel, different types, or website. Let's see. Ovira says, I really hope flint napping becomes more popular in the UK. Nap-ins sound pretty fun. Yeah, you got to meet up with, there's 3 guys napping in the UK together in nap-ins. Scott Lauer. Look for Scott Lauer in the chat, and there's a couple other guys that are in the UK. Let's see. Missouri Mountain Man or Mission Mountain Man. Is napper's cramp soreness from pressure flaking due to poor technique? How can I alleviate it? No, it's due to poor exercise. It's a matter of getting used to it, and you need to do other exercises to get your muscles in balance. Get your muscles balanced, because if you just focus on one group of muscles, you're going to get imbalanced and problems with joints, with joint pain. So you do exercises. I'm trying to think what other crafts, like wood carvers. Wood carvers have the same kind of deal where they get sore and cramp, carver's cramp. Just look to see what they do. I haven't looked at what they do, but I have a feeling that they have exercises. Let's see. Mr. Jim is here. Let's see. Better than napping alone. Yeah, go to a nap-in. If you don't know what that is, just type in YouTube, on the YouTube search, nap-in. Nap, KNAP -IN. Nap-in. And you'll find them. You'll find videos of nap-ins. Amazing. Alan's here. What's up? Clint is here. Hello, hello. Okay, so there's no more questions. Let's continue. Let's continue with our Monday night special. Right? It's Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. All right, let's see. Let's get this ground down a little bit more. Yeah, I get the question a lot. Why don't I still use the natural tools like antlers and hammerstones? Why don't I just use them? Because it's no fun, you know. I've been doing this for a while, and you get burnt out if you're not having any fun. It's like an acquired taste these days. You don't have to use natural tools. Now, if you want to make something that looks like a real artifact, if you want to create something counterfeit, by all means. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between a modern made item and an artifact if you use natural tools. Isn't that great? No? I get crickets whenever I say that because people don't realize that you can make fakes if you learn how to use natural tools. So, should I promote that? Because if I do, I'm teaching you how to make fakes. You think they don't think about this kind of stuff. Anyways, how can you tell the difference between something made with copper? Usually there's copper marks on the edges of these things when you get them. If you buy one or if you start making them with copper, you'll deposit copper along the edges, and with a microscope you can see that it's a modern made thing. But if you use natural tools, who's going to know the difference in many cases? The only thing that you can tell the difference is the old ones have patina, and they have various other traits. I won't tell you what they are because people get ideas. Wait, you can make fake ones? I could sell it for like $5,000. Yeah, so don't get no ideas. Yeah, people don't know. They don't realize what they're asking for when they say just make everything out of with natural tools, man, like they used to, like you're supposed to. I'm supposed to make it look like the old artifacts so people can't tell the difference, so it'll mix everybody up. That's what I'm supposed to do? Bunch of crickets. They don't understand. I mean, they don't think about that. They haven't thought it through. Let's see. Fire Opal. I'm behind on the chat. Oh, let me advance the chat a little bit. Did I miss something? Ed Gould, $5 super chat. Thank you. Thanks, Ed. E-Money is in the house. What else? What else is new here? UK has a festival of archaeology. I don't know if it's good, but there are nappers there. Ask a guy if they nap in. Yeah. There's some unscrupulous people out there. Oh, yes. Let's see. Woody Blackwell added patina and almost got away with it. Yeah, there's ways to age or to make these things look old. And back in the day, some of the nappers were actually very good at replicating certain points. And some of them are still in circulation, but they found out most of the culprits that were making bunches and bunches of fakes. If you hear the term gray ghost, I forget who the napper was, but he was making a bunch of fake ones out of gray material, gray chert or gray flint. They call them gray ghosts these days. Keith, you have to log in and out every 46 seconds? What's up? Tommy Anderson says when it stops being a fun, it's just a job. That is true. Somebody stuck in traffic. Alan's stuck in traffic. All right. I'll check the chat from time to time, so if you have a question, hopefully I'll see it. What is this going to be? It's going to be something that's not broken, for one, hopefully, and then we'll decide after that. I got to get it thinned down first. That's my usual tactic. I don't decide what it is unless I have to until after I thin it down. When do I have to decide what it is before I thin it? Well, if I have a request, which I don't do anymore, or if I have a certain point style in mind that I have to make because of some project I'm working on. But I hardly ever do those anymore. So I just thin it down and then decide. Yeah. And whatever it becomes, I just work with the final shape. I got this lump right here that doesn't want to seem to cooperate, so it's either a tough spot or just a coincidence. We don't know the properties of the stone in many cases. A napper doesn't understand exactly what's going on because we can't peer into a crystal ball and get the exact statistics and characteristics of the stone that we're working on. All we can do is go by experience, previous experiences. Yeah, like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay. Luckily, it did it because I was not in the mood to make it more narrow than that. Although I had to make it a little more narrow anyway, but I'm trying to preserve the width and the length because it gives me more options. Right, right. Yes, yes. Good, good. Let's see. Ed says he made a ton on silver. You're trading silver this week? Dang. Richard says, thanks for the ideas. What ideas? I didn't give nobody no ideas. What ideas? Okay, did that do it? Finally? Yeah, finally got rid of the lumpage. Now everything is a piece of cake, relatively speaking. Yeah, as far as lumpage goes, it gets harder to not break it at this stage. So we finished the first part. The first part is just getting a nice biface. So we knocked it down to a usable piece. I started using indirect percussion. That's the first stage. Second stage was getting the preliminary thinning. So we finished that. The very first stage, starting with the rock and getting a biface, that's the easy part. It gets harder and harder as you progress until the very end. And then the home stretch is not too bad. The sharpening and the notching is not too bad. For some people, it's very hard, but I find this is the hardest part right now. The final thinning. We're about to embark on the stage of the journey that's called the final thinning. That's the hardest part. Yes, yes. And some people can do this with boppers. I can't do this with a bopper. I got to use indirect percussion. That's just the way I roll. All right, let's see it. Little by little. Do the final thinning. Talk about stuff that I can make fun of Oh, yes. So, this is a chert, but it's very close to being a flint, I think. It's napping really well. Now, not all flints nap well, and not all cherts nap well, of course. Flints are usually a little bit better than cherts, but you never know. Some flints are very hard. What is a flint? A flint forms within chalk. Like, I think this is a flint, because it's a very chalky exterior. Okay? Yeah, you can write your name on a sidewalk with the outside of this. But it's also kind of limestoney, so it's kind of in between. It's an in-betweener. But look how easy it is. That's chalk. So this is a flint. And I think this might have been a flint as well. I didn't see. Where is the cortex? So I can check it out. All right, this is a cortex. Let's see if this is chalk. Now it's a little bit tougher. If it's a limestone, then it's a chert. And you can usually tell by seeing how easily it grinds down. I don't know, it might be a flint. This might be kind of chalky. It's an in-betweener. Yeah. Anyways, it's napping well. It's got some translucency once it gets thin. But it can be broken quite easily if I'm not careful. It might look easy to do this, but believe me, it has taken me years to get here. Years and hundreds of pounds of rock. Okay. Let's see. What, did I miss anything? I'm checking the chat. We got too many people watching, so I need to scare some of them away. It looks like root beer. Yeah, it does look like root beer, but it's a little bit more brownish with a golden color. It's got a golden color translucency. Root beer has more of a reddish translucency. This one is more like an amber. So it's not, I would not call it a root beer. It's not red enough. Let's see. Let's see. Silver point casts are really cool. I don't know what that is. Let's see. So, somebody got deleted by my moderator. Let's see. Awesome. Michael's a moderator. Watch out. We're watching you. Jacob sent a gift. Okay, what's the gift? A clapping seal. Okay, I finally figured out how to open the gifts. I got a clapping seal. Yay. Let's see. Gary says, is lumpage in Webster's dictionary? It should be. Lumpage, yeah. It's a new it's a flint napping term. What kind of point are we napping? The kind that's not going to break, hopefully. Yeah, it's a stupid answer, but I don't know yet. Let's see. Yeah, Dr. Voss says the old gray ghosts are worth more than many of the real points. Yeah, that's no lie. That is no lie. It's amazing how that is, how that worked out. We need to create a Flint Nappers directory. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so how do we create a Flint Nappers directory that we can all sign into or whatever? And I guess put our emails and stuff in the directory? Maybe. Yeah, that might work. The only flintnapping directory that I know of right now is Facebook. There's groups on Facebook of nappers. I'm a member of several groups. Now, I don't know if they can communicate with me through email just from the group. It usually comes in through Messenger. See, that's what I don't want to happen. Dang it. And it gets worse with a bopper. If I do this with an indirect percussion stick, you can imagine how bad I am with the bopper. All right. What am I going to do then? This is getting... It's getting too difficult. I got to focus. This material is too good to mess up. I don't want to mess this up. Dang. What's going on? It might look easy, but it's not easy. It's not easy to keep it nice and smooth. It gets crunchy very fast if I'm not careful. Dang it. Yeah, I don't want to mess this up. It's already getting way too narrow. Let me see. I can just stop thinning it. How's that? The tip's got some nasty inclusions in it. I might lose some of the tip. We shall see. Maybe, maybe not. There is try or try not. There is no do. You can't guarantee anything in flintnapping. So I'm just going to take it easy on this for now and clean up the edges to make them straight. I'm trying to improvise and thin with wonky edges, and that's what I end up with. I end up with mistakes like that. So let's clean this up, which means just little bitty flakes, mostly downward force. Now, I had a hard time describing my pressure flaking technique because I kept mixing up the term force and angle, that kind of thing. So I'll probably make another video on the pressure flaking. Besides, I had eaten some carbohydrates yesterday. Holiday food is too tempting. Carbohydrates mess me up. I get brain fog. That's my excuse. Not to mention gaining weight. But yeah, brain fog is pretty bad. I gotta figure out a better way to describe my pressure flaking technique by defining some terms before I start. And yeah, I'll be using terms like lumpage. Oh yes. What's the plural of lumpage? Lumpages. Wonkiness is also a flintnapping term. Oh, there's lots of flintnapping terms. Snap and half-ish, as an example. Problems. Difficulties in flintnapping are called problems. P-R-O-L-E-M-S. Yeah, there's no B in problems because it's a flintnapping term. So let's see. This is just the tedious part of it. I'm not watching the chat. I'm trying to make the edge better, so I can remove some nice flakes for once on this edge instead of that little crackly. See, it's still in there, that little crackly spot. I'll have to sneak up on it later and try to get that out. As the whole thing gets thinner, I can get to it. Right now, if I start striking that area, it makes it too thin there. I gotta thin it down here first and on the ends. Make sure everything else is thin before I start going thinner on this. But it's called damage control. That's another flint napping term. I got the heater on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm starting to sweat. This is the sweat stage, which is another flint napping term. And I can't be having a distraction like the heater. If it gets too hot, it can affect the flint napping. Yeah. Sad to say. Little things can affect the flint napping. Yep. Little subtle changes can make all the difference for the good or the worst. All right, here we go. Hard hit did not work. See that? I got to worry about this kind of stuff. It's not supposed to do that. No. That is bad. Let's see if I can pick that out. Yes. See, that is bad. It's supposed to go further. Okay. I call this a land bridge. When there's two step fractures back to back like this. That's a land bridge. That's where all the caribou and all the humans travel from one continent to the other. Yeah. You didn't know that? I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. It's such nice material. But I think it does have little inconsistencies. That should have gone further. Yeah, and that should not have step fractured there. So it might have like a tough spot in here. That's what I'm thinking. Either that or I'm just not shooting the flakes far enough. But it doesn't seem like that's an issue because it's so narrow. Did that clear it up? A little bit? I don't recommend that type of damage control because I'm trying to control, or I'm trying to eliminate the obstacle with the ending of the flake. That's not a good tactic, but I don't have much choice. I do that as a last resort. I tried to, do a relatively easy peasy flake in this direction to get rid of that, the step fracture, but this one did. Now I just got to get rid of this step fracture that I created a little bit earlier. I'd rather nap it out than try to pick it out, but it can be picked. Yeah. It just looks better if you nap it out. See, I'm slowly picking away at it. I just took this flake off. Let's see. And I'm just running some more flakes in here because I need to thin it down on the end. This next flake is probably going to be from this side here somewhere, but it's kind of thin. I don't know where I'm going to hit it from. But I need to take a flake from this side to get rid of that. So I'm losing length when I'm doing this. I'm trimming off some length. So it's probably under 5 inches now. Is anyone keeping score? Yeah, it's like 4 5/8. It was 5 inches and some odd. To keep it really long, just stop napping it. Yeah.
How do I keep it really long? You're not showing me.
Okay, well, I'll show you how to not nap it. Then it stays really long. Yeah.
Yeah, figures. That's all you do is say stupid stuff.
Yeah. Sorry. How's that? Did that work? I think that worked.
How about that?
Yeah. That's okay. There's a little bit left, but that's good. I will take it. Yeah, I will not push my luck, or I will not look a gift flake in the mouth. Yeah. That's the flint napping expression. You don't look gift flakes in the mouth.
Yeah, but flakes don't have mouths. What are you talking about?
Oh well. It's just an expression. Don't worry about it. You worry too much. I'm still getting those. This material gets a lot of these, and I didn't even see that coming. I wasn't even aware that was going to happen. It was supposed to be just be this flake right here, but it did something on its own right there. On that same edge. So I got a nasty spot here, a nasty spot there. Yeah, story of my life. What can I make out of this? I don't know, just a regular knife blade. No notches. No stem. We don't need no stinking stem. No stinking notches. Nope. If it keeps going this way, I don't need no stinking stem or notches or nothing. It's going to take me all day just to get those out. Those little mistakes on the edge. Yeah, I can start pressure flaking anytime now. But I'm going to switch over to a smaller diameter. This is a 3/8 inch diameter. I'm going to switch over to a 5/16 for smaller flakes. I'm going to pick at it some more. Someone told me to get a real job in the comment section of one of the shorts. Yeah. As if this wasn't work.
It's not a real job. You gotta have, like, you gotta be making food or something.
Yeah. No, I'd rather be making arrowheads. I had a real job for many years as a draftsman. Computer-aided drafting is my trade. I did that for 17 years, 14 or 17. Why did I do it for 14 or 17? Because I didn't want it to be 15 or 18. Yeah. I can't remember how many years I did the drafting thing. Probably about more like 14. Yeah. I could have gone for 20, but it's not like I can retire and get a pension from drafting. No. I left kind of early because I was pretty burnt out by the time I got laid off from my last job. I worked at the oil field, in the oil field industry. And there were layoffs and then rehires and then layoffs and rehires. They could have hired me back. I mean, I could have transferred. They offered me a chance to transfer instead of being laid off. I said, no, that's okay. I don't want to move again. So I said, okay. They said, all right, see you later. See you later, bye. I said, really? Promise? Yeah, you're free to go. It's not a joke? No? You're out of here. Really? Yeah. See ya. And I never went back. Yeah. could have gone back, but didn't. No, I was a stay-at-home dad after that. My last job was so darn stressful. Paid really well, but that's why they pay you the big bucks. Because you're going to leave, probably going to leave with a heart condition from all the stress. Would it be worth it? For some people, yes. For me, no. Okay. Let's see if we can do the damage control on this. Oh, I almost did it. Flick to pop that out. Almost did it. Yeah, spatula tool works good. It's a picking tool, right? You can pick things out with it. Supposedly. As long as it's not too nasty. So what happened? What do the edges look like now? See, I picked out, or I was able to chip out the defect. Where was it? I don't know. I don't know where it was, but I cleaned up the edges. There's just a little bit of step fracturing left. Not too bad. So, yeah, I don't have to thin it anymore. I probably will drive a few more flakes to thin it down, but I don't need to go any thinner. I'm going to start pressure flaking it, and if I see a spot that needs to be thinned, I'll thin it down with some more percussion. Let me turn the heater back on. Sweat stage is over. Now it's the pressure flaking. We're winding down. The pressure flaking is when everyone's eyes glaze over. Yeah. Go make yourself some food, or get your bed all made up and ready to be slept in. Because you didn't do it this morning. Go make your bed so that you can mess it up. Yep. If this was obsidian, I'd have 2 gloves on, because these flakes that are flying with obsidian, they get in places that they're not good. I get flakes in between the tool and my hand a lot of times with obsidian. With flint and chert, it doesn't cut as well, so I don't have to worry too much about that. So that's why I'm only wearing 1 glove. I see already a spot where I can thin it down with percussion. Pretty much this whole side. This whole side probably needs it to be thinned a little bit more. It's much easier to do it with percussion. Yeah, like that. Yeah, almost like that. Almost like that too. Well, we're starting to do it. Same old problem. That lumpage in the middle. No, people call me just when I don't want to be called, or text me or whatever. Not supposed to. Can't you see I'm on a live stream? Yeah, no one from my family watches my videos. Dad, it's weird, Dad. We don't do the flintnapping no more. We did that when we were like 5. And there was too many flakes. Too many chips. Yeah, my kids love to walk around barefoot. And there was always too many chips and flakes. So watch out for the flakes. But Dad, this is where we always go barefoot. Not anymore. But. You were making a mess anyway. Yeah, but this is where we have our little rock collections and stuff. You mean my rocks? Yeah. You're collecting my rocks? Yeah, the good ones. They used to make piles of these interesting cherts and stuff. After they've been heat treated, some of the cherts would change into nice colors. So my kids would go through and pick out what they liked. Yeah. Make little rock collections. It's fun when they're into it, but then after a while they said, nah. Nah. It's okay, Dad. It's kind of cool, but you know, it's not really, yeah, it's not cool anymore. Mm-hmm. No worries. More rock for me. Yeah. Don't bother me. It did it. Haha. Okay, so I tried to thin it down because I saw some areas that need to be thinned, and it started doing its stupid thing again by step fracturing in the middle. I think I've cleared up most of it. No. I'll have to drive a flake in there too. Not you too. Everyone wants to get in on that. Stupid step fracturing stuff. Yeah, I gotta make the edge look better though. If I'm gonna take a flake there. I'm gonna take a flake through here. See that little step fracture right there? I'm gonna try to run this ridge in here, try to get that out. Yeah. Because it's bugging me. The whole thing is kind of wonky still. I don't have a clean surface on either side. This side looks a little bit better. We'll see. All right, ready? I'm ready. Yeah, okay. No more step fractures. It's starting to go off in different directions. See that? It took off in a different direction there. It got where I wanted it to go. It started to dive a little bit, which is not good, and then it went off in another direction. This one is highly unpredictable. Yeah. So the flake is supposed to go only there and follow that ridge, but no. It wanted to go down here too. So I went there and then there. Stupid. And it starts to dive. It dived into there and it dived into there. That's because it's getting too flat. As it gets thinner, it gets flatter and it gets more difficult to produce nice terminations on it. Somebody else sent a gift. I think I missed somebody sending a gift. Hold on a second. I'll check the chat in a second. Yeah, like that. What's so hard about that? No. Yeah, like that. Let's see here. There it is. That's a good flake I'm looking for. Was that hard? Yes. Probably. It probably did not like that. It probably did not like that one either. Oh well. You're going to be an arrowhead no matter what. How's that? As long as it doesn't break. There it goes. Yeah, sweet. I can't do these flakes like this with a bopper. See that? Nice row of nice flakes. Yeah, oh, this one too. Bam, 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 bam. I can't do that with a bopper. Okay, that's why I do it with indirect percussion. Is that it? Or can I do some more with the indirect percussion? Can I make it thinner? I can attempt to do it. I can probably get some flakes to travel. Yeah, let's see. Oh yes, that was good. Luckily, that only went in one direction. Yeah, luckily it only went where I shot the force. It could have gone this way and messed it up. Yeah. Okay, the end is all dented up. Let's try on the fresh end. Yeah. Oh yes. Now you're cooperating. Yeah. Why didn't you do that earlier? Made me suffer too much earlier. Yeah, how about that? That's good. Yeah. Let's check the chat. Let's take a little break and check the chat. This is good. Right? There's just little spots that can be thin, but everything else looks good. Yeah. For the most part, that's good. Let's see. What do we got going in the chat? And how much time do I have? I got like 40 minutes left in this stream. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Okay. Yeah, you guys talk to each other in the chat. Saves me time. What type of rock is this? This is Edwards Plateau, Texas chert, or flint. From the Edwards Plateau in Texas. It's not heat treated. Just so you know. New guys that ask what type of rock is that usually don't understand what heat treating is anyway, but I mention it anyway. Somebody's asking if someone needs a blacksmith. Mr. Kilo says, I can never get my flakes to travel long. It's just a matter of pressure or hit force. No, it's a matter of practice. You're probably hitting fine with a proper amount of force. You just need to practice more. If you've been doing this for 20 years, if you have, then I don't know what to say. But if you've been doing it for 20 days, you just need to practice. Ed says it's thin enough. Yeah, it's thin enough. Once it starts getting really thin, it's flat and it's hard to run long flakes. One of the things that prevents, like the guy that asked about long flakes, one of the things that prevents long flakes is when it's flat. If it's flat, the flakes will not go long on most materials. On some obsidians and some heat treats, yeah, you can run flakes on the flat surface, but it's rare. The material that you can run flat flakes on is rare. Okay? Not every type of material will allow you to do that. So it could be a combination of different things, lack of practice and lack of good material. It could also be that you're trying to make stuff that's way too wide and you want flakes that are way too long. You're getting greedy. Pikachu Girl says, what are you doing? You look in the background. You should, with a name like Pikachu Girl, you should be a background expert. I got everything in the background you need to know what the video is about and what I'm making. Valhalla Mithra or Mythia. I want to get into flint napping. No, you don't. Nope. And just remember, you don't need to know what type of rock it is when you flint nap. It does not make you a better napper to know what kind of rock it is. It does not make you a better spectator either to know what kind of rock it is. Don't worry about it. You worry too much. No more questions? Marty's in the house? Yep, Marty. Buckskin NYB. His name is Marty. Valhalla Mythia says, I was a machinist for about a decade with 3 years of education. Dang, machinist. There's plenty of machinists who are nappers. Keep it leaf-shaped, says Jeff. Yeah, I can keep it leaf-shaped. Easy peasy. Yeah. Valhalla says, people tell me to get a real job at least 1 to 5 times a day. See, I don't know what a real job is. What do they mean by real job? Surely they don't mean like doctors and engineers and scientists, right? Okay. So, no more questions? Oh, Jake's live stream has ended. Gulf Coast napping. Oh, too bad. Maybe that's why I have over 100 people on mine. No, it's just there's a steady crowd that's been watching the whole time. It hasn't gone below 100 for the last 30 minutes or so. So it's good. It might go down lower now that I'm going to pressure flake. Everybody knows how to pressure flake, right? Right. So I'm just trimming the edge, downward force. Okay, there's a gift. Let me see what that is. No, I couldn't touch. I'm trying to touch the screen when the gift came up. It didn't work that time. The other time worked. Those gifts are like little emojis or something. Come on. Can you see what I'm doing? I could go up like this. Yeah, during the live stream, you can't zoom in, so I can probably just nap like this the whole time. Yes. I can't do the percussion this close to the camera because it'll hit the camera by accident. So I'm a spaz. I'm just trying to make the edge straight. And then from there, I can see where there are possibilities to remove flakes to make the surface nice and smooth. The interior surface. So these are just trimming flakes. And sometimes I'll drive a flake inward. But it's difficult for me to drive flakes inward at the tip and be successful for some reason. So I have to be very careful here near the tip. This is raw stone, which is, it's not easy to nap. It's not like obsidian that will flake easily. And I'm going to look at the symmetry also. while I'm doing this, I don't want to lose my symmetry. It's got to have symmetry from every direction. This way, you know, it's got to be the same on both sides, you know, same from the side view and from the front view, I guess they call it. If it's a little bit too lumpy on these sides, from the side view, there's a lump there and there's a lump down here. This straight edge helps me to see these lumps easier, and a way to approach them with a flake to knock them down, to knock down those high spots. Now on the real artifacts, you see high spots all over the place, but on these modern points, if you want to sell these, you have to eliminate all the high spots and all the nasty looking blemishes, if there are any on the surface, as much as you can. Some people are just making these for themselves, but even the guys that make these for themselves, they have a heart attack if it's not perfect, because they get the OCD. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you got OCD, I've known guys that have OCD and they get into napping and their OCD is satisfied. They're able to sit for hours doing something that occupies their brain the whole time. And they just sit there and pressure flake over and over and over. And they're in heaven. Yeah. Repetitive motions. You can get into repetitive flint napping where you're pressure flaking all day long and just love it. Me, I don't do that. I can't do that. It drives me nuts. I guess it's good because it shows you I don't have OCD. I got other problems. Mm-hmm. So how does it look now? Did I thin that down? Well, there's still there's still a lump on this side. So what do? I trim down this side, but now the other side doesn't look trimmed down enough. So what do? I move the edge toward that high side, move the edge this way so that when I drive flakes, they run easier. You move the edge toward the side where you want to flake. It makes the flakes run easier. And you can use all the help you can get. Yeah. Uh-oh, we got a super chat. I see a little green beacon. Who's giving me money? Jim, $5. Thank you very much. Got your package today. Looks like a good stuff, Patrick. Looks like good stuff. Merry Christmas. Awesome. I got another box I'm going to send you. But I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's all raw stone. It's like mid-grade stone, but it's the biggest chunks I have right now. I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, there's another box coming, but I got to pack that up. All right. See if we can flatten this side. Yes. Almost did it. I might not be able to do it. It's not doing it. I just have to live with it. Right? I was trying to knock down this lumpy spot there. but it didn't do it. I sent 2 flakes in. It didn't behave like this side. It just stopped. Yeah, it didn't behave. So yeah, it's a little struggle session going on. Some people don't like watching these struggles. I'm going to tame that side one way or another. Did that do it? I think that did it. Yes. That's about as good as I can hope for. Yeah. And whatever's left, I can pressure flake it. All right, good. So what's left to do? Just work on the straightening the edge. Yeah. Run flakes like that. That are cool. Those cool flakes. Yeah. That was lucky. I did not do that on purpose. Or I could say that I did. You'd never know. But I don't like doing that to you guys. No more step fractures? Yeah. I can't resist. I gotta put more step fractures into this. I gotta do more damage control repairs. I haven't done enough yet. Really? That's why you did it? No. Oh, that heater. It comes on and it turns off just as it starts to get a little bit warm. Yeah, I got it. I need to. It's getting too cold during this stage because this is not really the sweat stage anymore. So I'm not heating myself up like I was earlier. There, I picked it out. Well, well, well. Not as bad as I thought. That one I picked it out. Nice. The only thing I don't like is this mess in here. I like this side, but this side's got a little bit of mess in it. I don't know what to do. Yeah. If I think about it too much, it's not gonna look good when I try to do something. No. Let me see. I gotta stop drinking so much caffeine before these live streams. I just don't want to fall asleep. Why does caffeine matter? Because it gets me all jittery. It gets me in the mood to nap, but that little bit of jitteriness can make all the difference in messing up. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Is it possible to... I've got to get rid of some of this. See how it jumps from thin here to thick? I got to taper that. That's not good. So here I go again. Let me see. Here I go asking for trouble. Well, that wasn't too bad. Okay. Much better. No step fracturing. And it's tapering down a little bit. All I need is just a little bit. That's it. I'm trimming the edge now with percussion rather than using pressure. So I like the way that looks. I took off 2 flakes. That looks good. It's still kind of lumpy on both sides. But it looks better than it did before. I could leave it like that. Yeah. I could. Doesn't mean I will. What time is it? I got to wrap this up. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave that like that and put some notches in it. Right? Or put a stem on it. What am I going to do? I don't know. Make one of those over there? No, I'm not going to make one of those. Let's see. There we go. See, if I'm going to put notches in a stem, it's got to be thinner than this. Yeah. I got to thin down this area. Or at least get some of those thicker areas knocked down a little bit. All I need is a little bit. Sometimes just a little bit makes a big difference. Sometimes. That was good. Yes. See, I want those kinds of flakes. Yes, I do. So there's a little bit of luck involved in those. Yeah. Okay, so notching time. What am I gonna do? If I want to put a flat base on there, I'm gonna lose length. Yeah. Do I want to put a flat base? I do. I do want to put a flat base on it. Will I do it? I don't know. I'm trying to think what have I been wanting to make lately? Anything? I used to sit around and say, man, I want to make this and that. But these days, I've made almost every single point that I want to make. It's like, I've already made that. What about this? No, I made that too. How about this? No. I tried to make that, but it didn't work. So I don't want to do it no more. What about that type? That type's kind of lame. There's nothing to it. It's easy peasy. And on and on and on. Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, that almost messed up. I'm still trying to make it nice and flat without lumps. No, not like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm still working on the taper. It looks much better now as far as the taper goes. All right, that's better. Yes, yes. What point has a rounded base? Let me see. So I don't have to do too much adjusting of the base. I could leave it as a leaf-shaped blade, or just do something off camera. Let's leave it at that, and I'm going to break into this next one. I'm going to break into this piece and see what this does. You're probably already bored with the other one anyway. What is this? This is Texas chert. Again, I can't resist. I got to work Texas chert. It's actually the only stuff I have available right now. Besides obsidian, I got lots of obsidian from very generous donations. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, let's see what's in there first. Oh, it looks good. If I can just get into it without breaking it. Okay, that looks good. Sweet. All right, so let's see. If I think about this too much, it won't work. Yeah, arrowhead. I'm thinking of preserving this and removing everything else. Yeah, that scooped it though. Dang it. Scooping usually indicates high grade stuff. Yep. I'm trying to get some arrowhead spalls, but it's not working too well because there's natural cracks and stuff in this. But once I get past that nastiness, I can probably get some arrowhead spalls. Yeah. Well, that scooped it. That's not good. All right. How do I get rid of the scooping? I just have to follow through more instead of just tapping it. I got to follow through. Like that, yeah. It's still kind of scooped it, but it's better. I got to follow through more. And it changes with different types of rock. This is not as good as that side. This side is definitely not as nice as this side. You can kind of tell it's duller and more grainy. And that's pretty typical. With a size of rock like this, it's typical that you have different consistencies, like med grade here and then high grade over there, as an example. Okay, all right. No. See the bopper skills? I don't know why. I just don't hit where I want to hit. Yeah, like that. Come on. Don't make me hit so many times that it breaks it all up into little pieces. Good. Yeah, it's a good arrowhead spall. Come on. I know you're in there. There it is. This is very scoopy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What the heck? Excuse me while I zone out, because the typical hitting technique is not working. It's also because that's a very steep angle, but I should be able to knock off, with glancing blows, you should be able to knock off non-scooping flakes, but this just wants to scoop every time, so I've got to change it up a little bit as far as where I'm hitting. I'm not going to be able to hit this side and expect non-scooping flakes. So I got to hit from somewhere else. Which means I got to think about this a little bit, or not think. Why are calls allowed during live stream? I don't understand it. That might make a sweet arrowhead. So darn scoopy. Not all of this, not all the rock does that. Yeah, like that. What was so hard about that? Dang it. I have to get rid of this cortex area. Oh, so nice material, such nice material up here. Too bad it's going to just be it's going to end up being all crud flakes. Except for maybe a couple of these pieces that are large enough for arrowheads. Okay, I see how this is going to go. This is nice material, but for some reason it has a tendency to want to scoop out a lot. As you can see, I'm using a lightweight bopper. It's only 8 ounce. So it shouldn't be scooping as much. I just got to make it follow through and very glancing. It cannot be direct hits. Everything has to be a glancing blow to prevent the scooping. It's annoying because I usually don't have to do that. It makes it even more difficult to be accurate if I'm just going to be glancing and follow through. Make sure I follow through. Usually I can just kind of tap it. But I got to be super careful that there's a long follow through and a glancing blow. And like I said, I don't always have to do that. Yeah, the glancing blows are working. Okay. Come on. I'm just getting a bunch of crud flakes. You can't do much with these, unfortunately, and it's very high grade material. Why am I looking around? I don't want to thin the middle too much. It could snap in half. So that's why I stop and look. The ends have got to be thinned down before I do the middle. Sometimes I can get too carried away and do too much off the middle and it snaps in half. As it gets toward the center, it's starting to get a little lower grade. The high grade is near the surface. Like this side's better than this side. And I can see some of this interior stuff is not that great on this side here. Okay, so glancing blow. I still didn't do it. That was a glancing blow, and it still didn't do it. They did it. Come on. It's supposed to be nice material up here, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Let's see. It's making me lose length. Come on. See, if that worked, it could have taken off this mess. But it would rather scoop it than drive a long flake. Come on. There we go. But I just have to barely touch it, just barely, and glancing blows. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just barely touching it. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Sometimes it'll let me take the flake when I'm barely touching it, and sometimes it doesn't. I gotta get rid of most of this cortex. I still got a big area. It better be worth it because it's making me do a lot of crud flakes that are not usable. Just trying to get this biface out of here. Trying to get a biface out of it. I'm just generating lots of little crud flakes. Because it doesn't want to be cooperative. I hit that earlier, I guess, and caused that weird area now. It's got some incipient cracks. Come on. It is tougher than I thought. It looked like a really high grade stuff. And it was napping really, really well at first. But it's going to be narrow. Yeah. I can't, this stuff is slightly nappable. I might be able to leave some of it in. Maybe, but probably not. So it looks like it's going to be quite narrow. As you can see, I'm right at the edge of the original piece. So I didn't lose any width on this side. It was, most of my width is lost trying to get rid of that nasty cortex stuff. I think I can thin it down from here. Let's see. Oh, that's not good at all. I don't know if that's a natural crack in there or what. Yeah, it does not want to cooperate. That's for sure. It's a highly uncooperative at this stage. It felt pretty good at the beginning, so it's kind of typical. Yeah. It's gonna take getting a lot more narrow. To get the full length. Yeah. Especially since I do need to get rid of all this nastiness. See, this stuff is not nappable. It can't be sharpened or anything. I mean, it's slightly flakeable, but I have to get rid of most of it. I might be able to leave a little bit on there, but it just degrades the edge. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's such a big spot. It's not nappable at all. If I want to run thin flakes, forget it. When it was time to get real thin, I won't be able to do it on this grainy stuff. I can do it now because I'm taking off big chunks. I can nap it right now because I'm napping off big chunks. But look at that. This material doesn't even want to go across the top of that. It indicates that it's very tough. There, it's supposed to do that. But I have to take out a big scoop. And see, I've got these weird things going on. Yeah. That's not a good thing. So it's got to be very narrow. I don't know if that's an internal crack or what. This side looks okay, but it's just got that weird crack in there. Yeah, it's really thick in the middle, which is okay because it's really narrow and it still has some defects. I sometimes can run long flakes on it and sometimes I can't. I'm going to end the live stream here in a few minutes. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. It doesn't want to cooperate down here. Yeah, it does not want to cooperate at all. Okay, so it's going to have to be very narrow all the way down. To get through that mess, I'm going to get it really narrow. Because the flakes don't want to travel. Sometimes I can put the flake back in and hit it again. But this area is tough. I could heat treat that. It'd be much easier, but it'll also be more brittle. Running flakes turned out to be quite difficult on this. And I had such high hopes. Some of the flakes that came off earlier were very nice. I can still use those, of course. But I'm ending up having to just make a bunch of little crud flakes so I can try to get a biface out of it. And the biface is going to end up being very narrow. I still have that defect in here. It's going to have to come out, but I've already made it really narrow. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Just make it really, really narrow. This isn't too bad now. It's getting better as I get further into it. But it's still really grainy. But I can probably leave some of that in there. It is getting better as I get further. Even with a huge hit. I don't know. Yeah, I could probably get it whittled down. But it doesn't like it. Nope. It does not like it at all. Yeah, it's just a tough spot. Yeah. Sometimes I can power through it when I do it, take a chance like that, but I couldn't get under it. So that's it. I know what I have to do now. It's just a matter of whittling it down now. There's still some defects. I got to get that out of there. I might have to lose some length to do it. But as it gets more narrow, I can run flakes across, but it might not get really thin. So that's where I am on this. Anyways, much better. This one was much better. This one turned out to be a pain. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be able to maybe screenshot that. Okay, where are we on the chat? That was unexpected. I didn't realize I was going to have that much trouble when I first started it. Where is everybody? Plan is to get this leather adjusted. Let's see. Everyone's talking to each other. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to call it a night. It's good to see everybody. Live stream is over. Andrew says, I'm learning how to nap. Your videos really help. Thank you, thank you. I am very glad. Beaver fat works the best for softening leather, says Monch Cooks. And the outside of a banana peel works the best for conditioning leather. Let's see. Tommy says, Patrick, is the Overstreet open to Castroville? No, those are Pine Tree. That's Pine Tree. Okay, so that's it. I think I've answered the questions. Hopefully. We'll see you next time. Next live stream is Wednesday. And it's not Christmas Day, so we are going to have a live stream. Let's see. I am Atomic Zombie. Okay. I've been watching your stuff for a few years. Good stuff. Keep them coming. Later. Later, Atomic Zombie. Okay. That's it. Merry Christmas if I don't see you Wednesday. Mike says, Patrick, if you want to address any of my questions I had, your input is always valuable. No, you got some pretty good answers in there about softening leather and stuff. I'm not a really good guy to ask as far as leather work goes. Okay, all right. We'll see you next time. That was fun, at least in the beginning. Okay? All right, bye-bye.